Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Backdoor Shootout. We're shooting out into 2022. We had amazing competition. My name is Ezra Rodriguez. I will be calling the shots today live for you. We have an amazing 8 to 10 foot pipe. Pipe has calmed down today, and we are going live, and I will keep you guys updated all day long. Rocky McKinnon and Rocky Cannon and Isaiah Walker will be joining me in a few minutes. And yeah, look at that live drone footage of Pipeline. We have some of the best athletes in the world. And we got longboard and sup in this event. And this is a prestige event for North Shore and Hui. Yesterday we had Peruvian Tubos, Team Florence, Hui Japan, Volcom, Snap 4, Quicksilver, WSL Wahine, and Hui Wax, all going off for the Covenant title. And this is all team surfing, but at the end of this 4 days of competition, we got a competitor up and riding, pulling in. Moana comes out. Amazing performance by this young lady yesterday and today. These girls went out on the last day of the heat yesterday, and there was definitely some bombs. And then she went out for a free surf in the evening around 6 o'clock, and you guys seen that thing go viral. She got a giant, beautiful green brackish pipe barrel, and it was beautiful. So Moana, she's in her comfort level, Moana Wong, and she's going to go for the gusto. What a awesome
maybe
stuff.
you can switch them up, and you can take that one right there. Isaiah had the black floral style yesterday, and I had the license plate style.
Where can you get these, Rock? On
these
Hui.com?
I think either thehui.com or surfline.com.
Nice.
And the proceeds go to benefit the Hui Ohe'enalu Club, which it's not only a clothing brand and surf brand, the Hui, which has made that transition over the years, but the club is still around doing great events like the beach cleanup that happens in November here on the North Shore. They do an Easter egg hunt for the kids during that time of the year.
They give
and then
tons of apparel to the west side.
Yeah, and a huge paddleboard race that is one of the largest in the world. It takes a lot to put these events on, so all of your purchases of these beautiful Defend Hawaii, the Hui Backdoor Shootout t-shirts are available. Check out surfline.com and thehui.com, and if you're watching on Surfline, there's links that you can find and make a purchase. Get a piece of iconic history apparel and support the great events that the club puts on throughout the year, which essentially are vital to our community.
Big time. The Hui Ohe'enalu, always going in our communities and helping out everyone.
And of course, all the lineups in Hawaii, if there's a member of the Hui surfing, there is some regulation going on, either with a friendly suggestion of where you should be paddling out if you're in the way, or
they know we're raised around them.
These days it is, I think, a little more subtle and milder than it used to be when it was first started, and there had to be, somebody in the lineup to regulate the free-for-all sometimes would happen and put people in danger.
Oh, yes.
So there were recommendations and suggestions, if you will, that the Hui members will not be shame about and let you know when you're in the wrong spot.
Yeah, they're not asking you. They're going to tell you.
Yeah. So that is a way that the Hui Ohe'enalu has made our lineups safer and put a little bit of organization into something that is more or less could slip into the free-for-all category, which that's how people get hurt.
Our surf culture goes into, a professional sport. Of course, you're going to have those things, so you got to maintain it because there is all around the world in every sport disrespect, and everybody wants a piece. And you open up the floodgate.
It's like driving. If there weren't any signs and rules and lines to follow, you would be getting into all kinds of crashes and accidents. So the surf is no different. In the sense that there are no signs and regulations out there. So it takes individuals to educate the surfers that are either new to it or maybe not doing things as safe as they should or could. And it's just
Roger that.
A naivete that could be prevalent if you let it slide. So the club helps us regulate that, keep everybody as safe as we can. Our status today, and it's on. My good friend Skip Taylor checking in. And here is a recap. We had Moana getting the morning started with just a sick barrel kind of before that sun came over the mountains. And there you see it. As this heat went on, the sun just lit up the lineup. And Moana lit up the lineup too. Yeah. And then Bethany was able to get away and help her team. There's the last one of Moana with that beautiful high line exit and then that huge drop from Bianca. We'll be back with heat number 2 here at the Backdoor Shootout. Stay tuned. Here we are. Day 2, heat number 2. Rocky Canyon with Isaiah Hele Kunihi Walker. And if you're just joining in, welcome on Surfline.com. Mahalo to Surfline for bringing this event live around the world, along with Salt Inner Studios and Mike Prickett and the gang. And here we are. Good morning. Check out these T-shirts you can purchase online. All proceeds go to benefit the Hui Nalu Club that puts on amazing community events, including beach cleanups, Easter egg hunts, paddleboard races, surf events. So go and support and get yourself a piece of historic apparel. And ended yesterday with making history with the Wahine and started the day with history into day number 2. And check out live action. Mason Ho at Backdoor. Is he going to get shot out? Yes, he is. Oh my gosh, look at that huge gun just looking buttery at the Backdoor Shootout. Oh man, put some butter on the morning croissant. Wow, Mason Ho just slipping into that one and doing the textbook namesake of this event, getting shot out at Backdoor.
Yeah, it was amazing to pull up this morning and see how amazingly perfect the waves are this morning. I mean, yesterday was big and it was awesome, but today seemed to have cleaned up a bit.
Yeah, a little bit more organized.
But it is still pumping.
So when we do have a moment, we'll get into our Olelo Hawaii or Hawaiian language because, I've seen this copy of your book, and we'll wait till we got a lull in the action because we've got some waves that are on the way that could have potential, but we'll bring you here to the desk in just a second to show you something that is definitely a worthy read called Waves of Resistance, written by this young fellow right here. And the first time I've noticed your middle name, and if you have a translation for us, that would be incredible to start off our morning with that. And it is Hele Kunihi.
Right, mahalo. So Hele Kunihi is actually my mom's last name, so it's our family's name from Maui originally. Hele means to go or travel, and Kunihi apparently is like on an edge of a cliff or on like something really narrow. So I don't know if my kupuna used to have some secret road in the mountains they used to traverse on and travel, but that's our family name.
Cool. And a word that I've never seen before, you see choke kealohas, plenty kanaheles, but the Hele Kunihi, definitely one of the more original names that I've come across in learning Hawaiian language, as we've all done growing up here in Hawaii. And check out Mason Ho. I wonder what his middle name is. Right now, his middle name is Backdoor Master.
Malie. So malie means when the water is just smooth like this, got that glass to it, really kind of calm.
And for our local fishermen that go out on their vessels from Haleiwa Harbor, they love the malie conditions.
Correct.
And you know, there is a great way to kind of take advantage sometimes of these malie conditions. Sometimes when the winds are variable, the North Shore has this nickname between Sunset Beach and Haleiwa of being, you know, an estimate of about 7 miles. So you hear the 7 mile miracle to explain the surf breaks, and it's due to the amount of quality. Speaking of quality, here goes one of our competitors, Baron Mamiya, on a quality pipe barrel and just hang it in there on a board that looks like it could be a keychain.
I loved how his technique, you know, it makes the difference between those that are good and those that are great. Watch how he pulls up that rail, then slows down over the foam ball. The spit happens before he exits. That's what you want to see.
And when you're surfing pipe or backdoor, when you're backside or backhand, you do have to get some of your body, kind of that upper thigh, outer thigh portion from your knee to your, and we clarified this the last couple of years, your elemu.
Elemu, good
not
word.
your okole, as a lot of folks have, including myself, grew up explaining, but being re-educated to properly describe that, area of your body, which is your elemu, kind of like your hip and, you know,
there's a
side action over here.
We talked about another word yesterday, Manaleo. Manaleo is the first native language speaker that was, you know, their first language in Hawaiian. There's a Manaleo in Laie.
It's interesting. Am I interpreting correctly? It's kind of the spiritual voice, or the, you know, mana means like spiritual power, and leo is your voice.
The voice. Very good. Well, one of the aunties once told a friend of mine, no se okole. Okole is the hole.
To get really specific.
Don't mean to get
it is
graphic,
you know, biology that we're talking about here. So back to the 7 mile miracle before Baron Mamiya caught that quality wave. But what most folks that surf here obviously have heard of, and the draw of the North Shore has been the 7 mile miracle, with a series of quality surf breaks, you know, from Sunset Beach. You got backyards out there, Velzy Land in that area, to Camis, to Monster Mush, Stone Zone, Rocky Point lefts and rights, a little spot we call Turkey Bay, Gas Chambers, Pupukea, Ehukai and the sandbars there, Gums, Pipeline, Backdoor, Off the Wall, Rock Piles, little spot in between there called Insanities, Log Cabins. Then you have a little bit of a break from Sharks Cove, Waimea Bay included in there, and then you wrap around to Uppers, 5-0s, Marijuanas, Alligator Rock, Leftovers,
look at you go,
Piddlies, Chuns, Holtons, Lania, Jocos, Holtons, Lania Kea, and then down to Haleiwa, Himalayas. All of those spots individually would be some of the best breaks at anywhere else in the world. But we have them all in this really tight collection of space. When you get the Malie variable calm conditions going along the Mokuleia Peninsula there, and even stretching around past Kahuku into Laie Haula.
When the waves, you there.
Was that? I won't give you specifics, but it kind of turns into like this 27 mile miracle when you have these Malie conditions. The reason this 7 mile miracle is so special is because the wind direction, our trades 85% of the year have a side offshore wind direction here, which is mostly onshore in Mokuleia and onshore down in your neck of the woods, Hauula and Kahuku and Laie. But when you have these Malaya conditions, there's so many spots that are going off. You can find a peak to yourself. And I'll leave you to do the rest of your homework. I'm not going to give anything away.
Right, I'm a good geographer.
I love geography, and I love watching Baron Mamiya get barreled at Pipeline. That's Baron in the barrel is going to be a phrase we're going to be discussing for decades to come. Much more open on that backdoor section today. And Kai, well known for his big wave attack, paddling into some bombs. Of course, he is multi-talented, but more than a handful of times has won the stand-up paddle surf championship. So, carving those bigger boards, paddle in hand, such a unique skill to have. And then more recently, stepping into the conventional shortboard competition zone. He's got great potential.
Look at this, Billy going backdoor. Oh my goodness.
Ooh. Oh man. Got to keep an eye on Billy there. That was quite horrendous. And could be one of those that he may have had a close encounter with the reef. A vulnerable position to be in. Look how you catch your outside rail and fall kind of awkwardly on your back, kind of getting twisted, and hopefully he was able to penetrate and get back through. Checking out his board, making sure fins and tail are intact. Little splash on the water, knowing that kind of squandered an opportunity for a potential good backdoor wave, and a little frustrated with himself, which shows his passion for competition and what he expects from himself.
Right. So our viewers who aren't familiar with Pipeline or have never surfed it before, it's shallow. And on a wave like that, your odds of hitting the bottom are really high. In fact, Rocky, you've surfed out here for many years, and what's it like to hit the bottom out here?
Ezra and I talked a little bit about it earlier, and it is like, falling off your skateboard off the second story onto some concrete. Let's see if I could explain it through other sports. But you're not landing on a field of grass.
Right.
You're not, getting any type of air cushion or anything to land on. It is hard, impactful, solid reef that's below. So, I've had times where you bang your knee. Thankfully, it's nothing more than like a bruise, but you're out for days. Barely can walk, kind.
Kai Lenny stalling in the pit with the spit.
Yeah, Kai, he's the type of guy that whatever you put in front of him as far as ocean equipment, he's going to he picks it up so quick, and he's going to find a way to almost master anything instantly.
See on the replay, stalling, two hands dragging just to slow himself down. There's that spit. We call it spit. It's really compressed air, because inside of that chamber is all this energy and compressed air, and it has to go somewhere, and it releases.
Yeah, if you've ever held a pressure washer and you can feel that kick in the amount of force that's used to channel that water and energy. You come a little bit about the spit coming out of some of these barrels. So weird. It stings, obviously, to your bare body if you're not wearing a wetsuit or some kind of rash guard. But it somehow gets around onto your face, and the first thing to go numb coming out of some of these barrels is your lips.
Wow.
The lip numbing spit is something that all pipe surfers can relate to. But you paddle back out, you're like licking your lips, like, holy crap, I can't feel my lips. It's like the spit just went straight somehow wrapped around your face
Oh my goodness.
and numbed your lips. Kala Grace with the tribute. Uncle Derek board and made it to the exit point, but just couldn't stay on board. What an effort from Kala. And 2 boards in this heat that tribute 2 great surfers. Johnny Boy still with us and around. Our best wishes to JBG, but obviously we're missing our late great Uncle Derek Ho, and Kala paying tribute with his board there. That's super special and cool to see.
Right, yeah, we certainly looked up to Uncle D for not just his big wave, but small wave skills too. Here we go.
Kai Lenny on a smaller one, but still gets the in and out barrel. Yeah, I remember at the Volcom House porch on the lanai right here. But the small wave attack, and during the 80s and 90s of the World Tour, being at, you know, a lot of beach breaks around the world, Uncle Brian would force us to go surf Castles, Malay Kahana. You know, watching Kala Grace grab the rail, beautiful drone shot looking down, and you could see his Derek Ho tribute airbrush.
Of waves, you know, surfing, whether it's big or small.
Yeah, there was only that handful of guys. Oh my gosh, that is super deep at backdoor.
Almost.
That had everybody pumped to almost make that exit. That was Billy Boy Kemper, and much more successful than his last ride when he dug the rail and the nose. But if anybody is going to have a chance to make that, Billy put himself in the near perfect spot to be. Just needed a couple more seconds to gather himself and complete that one. But
bro, his board made him.
His board made him.
The board and make him.
You gotta be intact for the full potential of the score. Man, nearly a double-digit score right there for Billy.
Do you remember, at least when I was a kid, I remember that shooting your board was a maneuver. Maybe he was in the barrel and shoot the board. It's part of the move.
Could match his backhand under the hood, under the lip snap. He perfected here at Pipeline, and just the raw power he would put into his maneuvers. You feel like all of his being is being channeled into this one section of a wave with his board that nobody else surfed that way.
It was like martial arting the wave.
Yeah, totally. Bruce Lee, all the punch, you know, Mr. Miyagi right here, 1 inch, all body. One, you get Waves of Resistance. It is a worthy read. I've got an autographed copy on my bookshelf from some years ago, but surfing and history in the 20th century Hawaii.
Right.
Good stuff. So mahalo for hanging out with us.
I'm not shamelessly trying to sell books here today. So it's a university press book, which is, it's an academic publication, right? So I'm not making the kind of money that, you know, Harry Potter books would or anything like that.
Not on the New York Times bestseller list, but definitely something that you could learn from.
Right.
And, you know, we're lucky just to have the snippets of time that we have during this event and this platform to share what Isaiah has learned over the years. And you have a way of delivering it in doses and palatable formats that your brain can keep up with.
Yeah. I mean,
or at least brains like mine, you know, and our viewers, I'm sure, are soaking up every story and bits of history and knowledge that we put out there. A lot of it is thanks to you being here.